Hi everyone, this is Jennifer from dhavani.com. How are you doing? I hope everyone's well, and today I'd like to share with you a little bit about how we celebrate Pongal in the U.S. I put together some photos and some narrations, some stories about how we are celebrating it here. Obviously in upstate New York, it is cold, blustery, and snowy during this time of year. Nothing like the harvest festival season in the villages of Tamil Nadu, on which I blogged earlier. So enjoy the show. Here you can see a design where it looks like it's a pot with stuff flowing out of it. Generally in the villages, people have a wood fire and they have a metal pot of some type that's shaped similar to this. They put their freshly harvested rice in there along with some moong dal, peppercorns, cumin, ginger, salt, and maybe some other spices. And they boil it till it boils out and over the pot. When it does this, they shout pongal-o pongal. Some people also boil this with milk, making the frothy white appearance much more intense. You can see on each side of this decoration that there are green stalks. These are the sugar canes that are used to decorate during this harvest season. And underneath, the writing is pongal-o pongal in Tamil. Here again you see our kolam. And being that neither my husband or I, of course, are Tamils, but loving cultural festivals and integration of different cultures, I decided to not only celebrate Pongal in the Tamil way, but adding some flavor from other parts of India that also celebrate Pongal under the guise of different names. And Andhra Pradesh, the state just north of Tamil Nadu, they celebrate Pongal, but they also do a little different decoration called a golu. A golu is a step with dolls on them, or you can do themed things like doll houses or things like that. So I decided to put the golu together with the Pongal celebration, although I do a bigger golu for Navaratri season, which is in the fall or autumn time, which is normally when Tamil people do it. Here you can see this doll dressed up in a sari. Now originally this doll was given to me by my grandmother, and it was a Hungarian doll dressed in a Hungarian costume. I took the skirt off the doll and I put this human-sized sari on the doll to make her look Indian. I also added a bindi. And it was definitely interesting to get that sari on her, but she looks fantastic. Another part of the golu decorations, or the doll decorations for my theme for Pongal, is cows. One day of the 4-day harvest festival in India, cows are celebrated. In fact, people also bend down and pray to cows because cows give life and so much to people in the villages. So over the years, even before I loved India, I started collecting cows, stuffed cows, cow statues, all different kinds of cow things. So these circulate throughout our different golus on different years. Here you can definitely see a whole variety of different types of cows. And trying to incorporate more of an ethnic feel to the decorations, I purchased these stacks of grain, because grains are generally harvested for this festival. And in addition, from the dollar store, I purchased this brown ceramic pot in which I put some scraps of felt, which become the leaves that stick out of the pot, and recycled some old tissue paper, which represents the pongal coming out of the top. Here, the whole scenery of the golu and the kolam and decorations will span out, and you'll see on each side of the fireplace it is framed with these things, long stalks with leaves coming out of the top. I was trying to recreate the sugar cane. Of course, we don't get that here, so I had purchased some bamboo stalks that are reusable year by year because they're stained and finished off. And I had made some leaves for that out of felt and some kind of pipe cleaner material, so that the leaves are actually, you can actually flex them and bend them into different positions. I had stitched the wire item down the middle to make it look like the veins of the middle of the leaves. And the banner that's going across the center says Happy Pongal, and again I cut out some leaves to make them look like mango leaves or other kinds of leaves that people might use during this time of year to decorate with. Here again you can see on the fireplace mantle another way I put together a little small golu for a different year, which these are versions of dolls from the village. They are fashioned out of pipe cleaners and pieces of old fabric that I had either stitched or tied together to make different Indian costumes, such as the dhoti for guys, salwar kameez, sari, and pavaada dhavani, which is half sari for girls. Here on our fireplace floor I have written pongal-o Pongal, and the first version is in Tamil, and then the middle you see another pongal pot with the rice flowing out and the sunshine behind, and then again it's written in Malayalam on the other side. From the middle you see the pongal, and the thing I love about this particular kolam design is the different colors and textures. It's just so varied with the dolls and the flowers and the flattened rice, and the contrast of colors is just really awesome. Here's another Rangoli kolam that I made for another year, where I had put it in front of our puja or prayer stand. You can see the variety of different grains and dals and flattened rice, poha, along with the flowers. And on top of that is centered a metal bowl with some pongal in it that we had offered to God before we decided to partake in that. And yet the third and final design I'll share with you of the kolam, with this red flower in the middle. There's a really good contrast between the red flower and the different yellowish light colored grains that surround it. Now you can see the whole entire design, which really pops out and kind of hits you with, especially the awesome contrast with the green pulses in there. It just really pops out and hits you. I collected all these pulses and dolls, of course, at different grocery stores. They're not just from the India market. And yes, they do get quite costly. And unlike our poo kolam or our flower kolam that we do for Onam in September, those flowers, once they die, they can't be reused and they get thrown away. But with these pulses and dolls, I like to try to separate them out after the celebration is over and put them back into the bags and reuse them for the next year. Yes, it's very time consuming. Firstly, to put these designs out, I mean, it takes me a good 3 to 6 hours depending on different things that go into the design. But cleaning up the design and separating everything out takes a lot longer. That could take 6 hours or something if I, not really paying attention to what I'm doing. And for the grains that kind of get mixed together and I can't really separate them out, we feed those to the animals out back. Again, in this slide you can see the kolam, and I thought I'd use this slide to talk a little bit about party favors. What party is complete without a party favor or parting gift to say thanks for coming to my party? So how I've decided to do this is kind of, again, looking at the culture of people in Tamil Nadu that I interacted with. Whenever somebody has come to visit for a special occasion or coming in from out of town, special guests are offered generally a piece of fabric of some kind, whether that's a sari blouse piece or a sari for women, or a dhoti or some other type of fabric piece for men. They are offered this on a platter with a little bit of kumkum. And some people in South India even leave the corners of the garment a little yellow stained with turmeric, because that's a sign of good luck, or maybe even keeping the evil eye off of that beautiful piece of fabric. So when accepting this gift, it's imperative never to pick it up off the platter with your left hand. Always use your right hand, But before you take the gift, take a little kumkum with the fingertips of your right hand and place it in between your eyebrows, or if you're a married girl, you can place it also in the part of your hair. Do not take the platter. Some people have done this and it leads to some very hilarious situations. So take the kumkum and take the towel, leave the platter for your host. Yeah, some mornings when we start our festival, it looks clear out like this, and you get a little confused because you think it's upstate New York and it should be cold, blustery, snowy. Well, it's definitely cold, and generally by the end of the day, as you'll see, we get plenty of snow. Ah, the food. I mean, who can not come and enjoy a mouth-watering South Indian Tamil feast? Of course, I'm impartial to it, and this is one of the times of the year that I get to enjoy a wide variety of South Indian Tamil delicacies. I love to eat all these things. We had rasam, sambar, we had koramba, which is a thick sambar, we had tamarind rice, curd rice, lemon rice, coconut chutney, onion chutney, sweet pongal, white pongal, vada, 3 or 4 kinds of pickles, lemon pickle and mango toku I made, and kanchipuram idli made in the tumbler. So much variety, it's amazing. In fact, one of our friends actually mentioned that outside of a South Indian Tamil wedding, they never saw this much variety of Tamil food in one place. And of course, it's all contributed by other people who attend our party. So thanks to everyone for contributing awesome tasting food. In fact, leaving leftovers for me for a while, and that's really enjoyable. But that feedback is just amazing. It's a tribute to our celebration. This is how we set up our area to get ready to eat our feast. You can see the plates on the floor with banana leaves on the top. Generally, banana leaves are a mainstay plate at many special occasion functions in South India. They don't put plates underneath the banana leaves, however, like we did. As with South Indian Tamil culture, I found there's rules for everything. There's also rules for how food is distributed on the banana leaf. I was taught that usually a sweet item goes first, and then you can follow by other items. Now, what that exact pattern is, I don't know after that. I just remember usually the sweet item goes first. And interestingly, in a lot of places in Tamil Nadu, people don't have salt shakers. They have salt and they put it in a small little pile on one end of your banana leaf, and then since people eat with their hands, they can mix it in with their fingers, and that's how salt is added if there's not enough. When is the food coming is probably what they're thinking as they're getting ready to sit down and enjoy the meal. Here's one plate of food that's completed. You can see on the bottom right the brownish rice. That's tamarind rice. Right directly to the left of that on the bottom is a coconut chutney. In the middle you see the pongal, that's the white rice. And to the left of the pongal is a sambar. Above that is a carrot halva. And to the right of that you can see a little bit of curd or yogurt, lemon pickle, some appalam, which are chips, and some potato curry, I think that was. What a definite variety of tasty treats. Nothing better to warm up people in the middle of the dead of winter than getting together, eating, sharing conversation, and of course having the most tasty meal of the season. You know, no matter how bad the weather gets, we end up always having a full house of people, and it definitely livens up things when the days are short and cold, and in Rochester not very sunny, although this year in 2008 we've been fortunate to get a lot of sun. But definitely the company, conversation, and food are not worth missing. Yes, we get the snow, and it is very cold sometimes. Another way people like to warm up during the Pongal season here in Rochester is at the Tamil cultural group called Tamil Sangam. They get together and they have their own cultural program full of dancing, skits, and incomplete without a great Tamil feast. enough to warm up any cold winter's afternoon. Guess what? You finally made it to the end of this long-winded slideshow presentation. I give you a lot of credit, and thanks so much for spending your time with us today and learning about how we celebrate Pongal in upstate New York. I hope you've really enjoyed the presentation. Thanks to my husband for taking the pictures, but really, thank you to our friends who brave the elements of extremely cold temperatures, blustery, wintry conditions with blowing snow, low temperatures, and of course, snow and ice, to come to our house in the dead of winter to share their company with us, their friendship with us, and of course their menu items, which cannot be lived without because they're just so tasty. If you'd like to learn about those menu items and make them yourself at home, come to my site at dhavani.com and search for Pongal recipes in quotes, and you should be able to get all the information you need. And if you'd like to see pictures and learn more about how Pongal is celebrated, not only in our house here in New York State, but in villages in Tamil Nadu, come to my site at dhavani.com and search for Pongal. So until we meet again, have a great day. Thank you, and vanakkam.